A skeleton was found inside a cave in Iraq. At first, it looked like another ancient body. Broken bones, heavy brow, thick skull. A creature from a colder, rougher world. But then scientists looked closer. The left side of his face had been crushed. One eye may have been damaged badly enough to blind him. His right arm was withered and nearly useless. His right leg was impaired. One of the bones in his foot had fractured and healed. Later analysis suggested he may have suffered serious hearing loss, too. By every rule of prehistoric life, he should not have lasted long. This was not a world with hospitals. There were no antibiotics, no wheelchairs, no grocery stores, no emergency rooms, no disability checks, no soft modern system waiting to catch you when your body failed. If you could not hunt, you were in danger. If you could not hear predators, you were in danger. If you could not move well, you were in danger. And if you could not keep up with the group, the ancient world did not slow down for you. But this man lived, not for a few days, not for a few weeks. He lived long enough for his injuries to heal, long enough to grow old by Neanderthal standards. His name is Shanidar I, and his bones tell a story modern people may not want to hear. Humans were never meant to survive alone. Shanidar I was discovered in 1957 by archaeologist Ralph Selecki during excavations at Shanidar Cave, in what is now Iraqi Kurdistan. He was a Neanderthal, not a modern human, and he lived tens of thousands of years ago. For a long time, Neanderthals were imagined as brutal, dumb, almost human animals. Popular culture turned them into hairy cave monsters holding clubs, dragging food through the dirt, and grunting at fire. But Shanidar Cave made that picture harder to believe, because Shanidar I was not just injured, he was disabled, and he survived anyway. Think about what that means. Someone had to notice when he could not do what others did. Someone had to tolerate his slower movement. Someone had to share food when he could not get enough for himself. Someone had to let him remain part of the group even when he was not the strongest hunter, the fastest runner, or the most useful body in the cave. This is the strange part. The evidence of care is not written on a wall. It is written in healed bone. A broken bone that kills you leaves one kind of story. A broken bone that heals leaves another. It means time passed. It means the body repaired itself. And for that repair to happen in a Pleistocene landscape filled with cold, hunger, predators, injury, and constant movement, the injured person needed other people. Not abstract kindness, not motivational words. Actual care. Food, protection, patience, presence. A group choosing, again and again, not to abandon someone who would have been easier to leave behind. And once you understand that, the ancient world starts to look different. Maybe survival was never only about strength. Maybe the strongest human advantage was not the spear. It was the circle, the group, the people who stayed, close enough that one person's weakness did not instantly become a death sentence. This is easy to forget, because modern stories about prehistory are obsessed with violence. We imagine hunting, fighting, dominance, alpha males. Nature as one endless competition where the weak disappear and only the ruthless survive. But bones keep ruining that story. Across Neanderthal remains, researchers have found repeated injuries that healed. Broken limbs, degenerative conditions, trauma that did not immediately kill the person. This does not mean prehistoric life was gentle. It was not. It means something more interesting. It was dangerous enough that care became necessary. Research from the University of York argued that Neanderthal healthcare may have been a survival strategy, not just a sentimental behavior. Injured group members could recover, return to participation, and remain part of the group's survival system. Science Daily. A group that abandoned every injured member lost knowledge, relationships, skill, memory, and trust. A group that cared for injured members kept people alive long, enough for them to recover, teach, watch children, make tools, remember landscapes, and remain part of the social world. Care was not separate from survival. Care was survival. And this did not start with modern humans. That should bother us. Because if even Neanderthals, living in one of the harshest versions of human existence, made room for the injured. Then why do so many modern people feel like needing help makes them a burden? Why does a person today break down and immediately apologize? Why do people say, "I don't want to bother anyone," when bothering each other may be one of the oldest things humans do? Why do we treat independence as if it is the natural human state? When the evidence keeps pointing in the opposite direction, no baby survives alone, no sick person heals alone, no hunter learns alone, no elder remembers alone, no human becomes human alone. For most of our existence, being alone was not a lifestyle choice. It was an emergency.